What is going on, guys? It's Jordan, and in today's video, I'll be taking a look at a couple more key free agents this offseason and where I think they will be going. This free agency class is pretty loaded at the moment, so there will definitely be more videos like this before free agency officially opens in March. Let's get right into it. Despite being 31 years old, Chandler Jones still plays the game at a high level and can immediately lift any defense that is struggling to rush the pass. Throw in the Ravens, who lost Matthew Judon to the Patriots this time last year in free agency. Judon was a huge loss for the Ravens, and it showed in their 2021 defense. They struggled, finishing 24th in the league in team sacks. The Ravens have over $60 million in cap space to spend this offseason, and they shouldn't be afraid to use it. With the Bengals breaking out in the AFC North this year, the Ravens will need to make some moves to get back on top. Chandler Jones will provide a steady pass rush to a defense that really needs it. Look for Chandler Jones to get a 2-year deal worth around $34 to $39 million, which would place him in the top 10 salaries for pass rushers. Rookie QB Zach Wilson ended the season with promise for the Jets, throwing one interception in the final 6 games of the season. The Jets have a long way to go before they can start thinking about the playoffs, but they have plenty of assets this offseason to help improve their roster. The first thing on general manager Joe Douglas's mind should be setting up Zach Wilson to the point where he has no excuses to fail. Elijah Moore appears to be a very promising piece moving forward on offense, but Corey Davis had a disappointing first year with the team after they handed him a 3-year, $37.5 million contract in free agency last year. With Jamison Crowder also likely heading for free agency this year, the Jets are in need of another wide receiver. Enter Michael Gallup, the 25-year-old Cowboys receiver who gave us a sneak peek in 2019 of what he could do as a main option in an offense. He put up 1,107 receiving yards to go along with 6 touchdowns. Gallup is an underrated receiver, mainly due to the fact that he had to share a field with Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb in Dallas these past 2 years. Gallup suffered a torn ACL in the middle of the season, but there's no reason for me to think he can't come back fully healthy for 2022. In my opinion, Gallup is a high-end wide receiver 2 and could potentially be a wide receiver 1 if given the opportunity. Gallup may also be a little cheaper than the upper echelon receivers in free agency like Devontae Adams, Mike Williams, Chris Godwin, etc. Gallup would add a nice dimension to that Jets offense and provide Zach Wilson another reliable target. Michael Gallup, Elijah Moore, and Corey Davis would be a solid trio to work with for New York. Here is a fun one. Speaking earlier during a Q&A, Rob Gronkowski was asked what quarterback he would like to play with now that Tom Brady has retired, and Gronk's response was Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow. Gronk likely won't go to a team that isn't in contention for a Super Bowl, so the Bengals would actually make a lot of sense. CJ Uzomah had a career year for the Bengals this year at the tight end position, putting up nearly 500 receiving yards to go along with 5 touchdowns. With that being said, when Rob Gronkowski says he wants to play for your team, you don't ignore that. Gronk is likely the best tight end in NFL history, a 4-time Super Bowl champion, 4-time All-Pro, and he's still playing the game at a very high level. He managed to put up 802 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. He would join an absolutely loaded offense that already features Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. The Bengals have finally gotten that taste of winning in the playoffs, getting to the Super Bowl, etc. Having a superstar quarterback like Joe Burrow at the helm will keep them in contention year in and year out, and free agents will take notice of this and will want to play for him. Rob Gronkowski is the first, but he certainly won't be the last. Hear me out on this one. I strongly believe that the Giants will roll into 2022 with Daniel Jones as their starter. This will likely be his last chance to make a lasting impression. With that being said, the Giants have had a huge backup quarterback problem in recent years. When Daniel Jones went down this year, they had to go to Mike Glennon, who was absolutely atrocious. They also had to go to Jake Fromm, who had little experience in real NFL games, and he also struggled extremely. Mitchell Trubisky was Josh Allen's backup in Buffalo, so he was with Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll, meaning he has a good understanding of Daboll's offense. Trubisky is good enough to be a strong backup option, but not too good enough to legitimately push Daniel Jones for the starting job in New York.